In this video, we will be going over the basic fundamentals of meditation practice and the concepts of mindfulness so that you can create your own at-home practice based on the doctor's recommendations. The process of meditation is essentially a simple process where we bring our mind to one-pointedness. This is called dharana in the yogic philosophy, and it's really just meaning concentration. So rather than having an onslaught of thoughts, of bombardment of all these different emotions, reliving past experiences, internal dialogue loops, we're able to just release all of that away and come back to our object of meditation, which is the breath. This will relieve anxiety and stress and reduce panic because rather than having all of these thoughts all at once, we have the tools to be able to hone our mind to one-pointedness. So the process begins with an object of meditation. For this practice and many other practices, we will use the breath. Every time you practice, you'll be able to come back to the breath over and over, and that will be the process of cultivating one-pointedness of mind. So to practice this skill, we tune into the breath, moving in and out of the body, moving in and out of the nostrils, and allowing all of our other thoughts, emotions, and internal dialogue to fall away and fade to the background. And we over and over bring our awareness to the breath, to the feeling of the breath moving in and out of the body. Inevitably, throughout the practice, you will notice that your mind has wandered off elsewhere to thinking about what you're supposed to do after the practice, thinking about something you said yesterday, or any of those other memories that we're reliving or worries about the future. And once we notice that the mind has wandered, this is a powerful moment because this is when we can come back to the breath. And by doing this over and over again, we're utilizing neuroplasticity in order to strengthen those neural pathways and just cultivate one-pointedness of mind. So to start, let's find a nice seat. This is important to find a good posture, so you can either be laying down on your back or you can find any seated position where your spine can find length. So we don't want to be compressed and sinking into our body like that. We want to be nice and elongated. So rooting our sit bones into whatever surface we're sitting on, whether it's cross-legged, whether it's in a chair. We want our feet to be flat on the floor if we are in a chair. I know most of us will be doing it that way. So first we'll find a little bit of a length from the pelvic floor all the way up through the crown of the head. So feel the abs slightly engage here and find a gentle lift in the chest. The shoulders, feel them go up to the ears and then roll down and back. Finding scapular retraction and depression really helps to elongate the spine here rather than being flexed inward like this, like many of us in society today. So we'll find nice shoulders rolling down and back, the crown of the head lifting up to the sky as if a string is pulling the top of the head up, but we'll find a gentle chin lock back. That way we're not completely lifting our head back. We're still finding integrity in the spine and lengthening the cervical spine. So to begin, we'll just let the hands relax down on the thighs and close the eyes down. Just tune into the breath, moving in and out of the nostrils. No special form or technique to the breath to start. Resist the urge to change it, just notice it. Notice if you feel it up in the chest, if it's kind of shallow and choppy. Maybe you feel it down into the ribs, expanding and deflating as we inhale and exhale. Maybe our breath is already pretty deep and we feel it swirling down in the belly. Wherever you feel the breath moving in and out of the body, just focus your attention there. Maybe it's this slight cooling sensation as the air enters the nostrils. In the comforting, warming sensation as the air exits the nostrils with your exhales. Notice if the breath has a texture to it. If you're a visual person, maybe it has a shape or a color today. Regardless of that, just keep your focus on the breath. Let the chitter-chatter of the day fade to the background. Any thoughts of things you have to do today, just let them fall aside. They'll be there when you finish. Maybe give a word, a label to the thoughts. Whenever they come in, just label them thinking, and then return your attention back to the breath. You can think inhaling, exhaling with every breath, or maybe rising and falling as you feel the chest rise and fall with every in-breath and every out-breath. And if you notice that your mind has already wandered away, be gentle with yourself. That's exactly what the process is about. Let go of whatever thoughts you got caught in and just return back to the breath. Return back to the inhale, the exhale, the rising of the chest, the falling. As we cultivate this practice over days, weeks, months, and even years, we notice it begin to flavor our day. When something would previously set us off emotionally, we'll notice how emotional we're feeling. We'll notice the anger right away, rather than 3 consequential actions later. Cultivating this practice of meditation and mindfulness allows us to become more familiar with how our thoughts actually work, with how our minds work. This can help us reduce anxiety, giving us glimpses of freedom even during a stressful period. We're able to come back to what's going on here and now. Rather than the stories that our minds are telling us, we use the breath as an anchor to the present moment. Every couple minutes, it's good to check on the posture. Make sure you're not slouching. Make sure the shoulders are still rolling down and back. Spine is still nice and long. And when you're feeling ready, you then begin to reintroduce sensation into the body, maybe rolling the neck a couple times, maybe rolling the shoulders, rolling out the wrists. And then you can open up your eyes. And it's always good to take a moment after your meditation practice just to thank yourself for taking the time for yourself. This is a practice that only you can do for yourself. Nobody can do it for you. The only way to do it is to practice it over and over and over again. Every time the mind wanders away to something else, you notice that it's gone, and then you bring it back to the breath. That's the process of meditation.